All right, first stop of the day. We are in Union, Kentucky at one of the brand new liquor stores that just opened, Union Wine and Bourbon House, just outside of Florence, Kentucky, a relatively new liquor store that just opened their doors a few months ago. Let's go check out their selection and see if we can walk away with anything cool. So here we are. There's the bourbon wall. We'll get to that right up front. They've got the Lost Monarch Redwood Empire Small Batch American Whiskey. This is their bourbon and rye blend, $84.99. That's the cask strength, part of their cask strength series. And it looks like this is what they have for their allocated section. Augusta Buckner's 10-year, the Old Route 8 as well. Bardstown Discovery 11. Booker's 2101, coming in at $119.99. Remus 7-year, that is the newest release that came out last September. Murray Hill Club whiskey, and also that is the Joseph Magnus. That is not the cigar blend, that's just the triple cask finished 2XO, and then the Orphan Barrel 18-year Indigo Hours. That Holiday, 15% their soft red wheat. That's the bottle and bond, so that's the 100 proof. Very good. We did a review on that a little bit earlier on the channel, and you can check that video out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Now here we are, the bourbon wall. They've got the entire Bardstown line, the Origin series. So that is the high rye blend, their wheated bottle and bond, and then their rye right at $64.99. Those are perfect prices for that. And then the Discovery Series, which Discovery Series is this? This is the red label, so that is number 7. Next to it is the 11. We saw that in the front as well. And then the new Collaboration Series. This is the rum collaboration with the Plantation Rum. 2XO and New Riff. They're single barrels, the bottle and bonds, and then the ryes. Horse Soldier. Tumbling Dice. I have not had Tumbling Dice yet. Anybody have that yet? What are your thoughts? I believe it's a sourced whiskey. I'm assuming it's MGP. 7 years. Probably made in the USA. 3664. Yeah, distilled in Indiana. So that's going to be MGP. Michter's Line. The rye. The sour mash. Good prices. Great prices. Pinhook Vertical Series. There's the 7-year, this one checking in. Tis Rye Time, $91.99. Then you get to the Willets, their line, including Noah's Mill, Rowan's Creek. Brothers of the Leaf, that's a new one for me. $91.99. Looks like it's a high proof toasted French oaks cask. Distilled in Indiana, MGP. There we go. Bunch of MGPs out there. Jefferson's, the Oceans, Twin Oak, the Tropics, Age and Humidity. Okay, Peerless, the Double Oak. Oh, that's a great bottle. We got the Double Oak, you've got the High Rye, and then the regular small batch, and then Barrel Vantage, one of my favorites. And then again, we're getting to Old Route 8, Remus, Rabbit Hole. I've been seeing a lot more of these Copper and Kings popping up. These are finished in American apple brandy casks, $74.99. Have not tried it yet. I'm wondering if any of you guys have and what your thoughts are. Baker's 7, and then you get to Whistle Pig and Wilderness Trail. Let's drop down a bit. So they've got both the Ben Holiday 6-year and 7-year, and then also that soft red wheat. Great prices on that. That is right where they're at. MSRP $59.99. Blazing Brooks out of Arkansas. Distilled in Kentucky, so they're sourcing it bottled in Kentucky as well, but it says Healing Springs, Arkansas. But Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. All right. Whereas that's saying Healing Springs Ark, as in not Arkansas, but where there's the Ark. It's a good question. I'll have to look up more information. Blade & Bow had someone ask me a question about this. If you're new to Blade & Bow, on their key they have a number. This one is number 5. And if you get all 5 of their keys, you can join their 5 Keys Club, where they'll engrave your name on a goblet and put it in their wall of fame out there at the Stitzel-Weller Distillery. 13th Colony Distillery. This is brand new to Kentucky. They just started distributing, I think, in September or October of 2023. One of their big bottles is their Double Oaked, which sold out incredibly fast last year. And again, I keep always pointing out the RD1 Amburana. That's one of my favorite Amburanas. We get to the old classics, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. You got the Kentucky Spirit as well, single barrel. And then the Rye, $69.99. And then that 10-year. Prices on these just continue to climb. I remember back in the day when that was into the upper 20s. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, $53.99. This one that continues to intrigue me is Blueprint. It's Kentucky only. The story behind that is, I believe they bought something and found the blueprints of the building, and that's why it's got the name Blueprint Whiskey. I still need to do a little bit more digging on that, but pretty cool concept. It really reminds me of the Blue Note label, that Blue Note 17-year. You get to the Penelope series. They just won, I believe, a double gold for their Toasted series, and that is the Toasted Rye, and then they've got the Toasted Bourbon. Very much would say check those guys out if you haven't had a Toasted barrel from Penelope yet, or anything from Penelope. Their line's very good. That 4-grain, don't sleep on that, especially, it's 80 proof, but it's much better than you would think. Okay, one of the best 12 American single malts, Dexter. I think ADHD Whiskey did a review on this, one of the top 12 bourbons in the world. I don't know about that. I don't know too much about Dexter. So we look on the label. Produced, finished, and bottled by Brain Brew Custom Whiskey. Oh, Brain Brew, yes. They're just to the northeast of downtown Cincinnati. Gonna have to give them a look. I've heard good things about Brain Brew, so we're gonna have to check it out. Stone Street, I just saw this pop up. 5-year whiskey. I've not tried it yet. 71-21-9, distilled and bottled in Bardstown. I'm going to guess that is coming from Bardstown Bourbon Company at 71-21-9, but could be wrong. Regular 4 Roses single barrel, $53.99. Basil Hayden line. Now Creek, oh, they've got the 12-year, $74.99. Hey, finally, I've been keeping an eye out for this. This is one of those bottles that I've not been able to really find, at least at a price like this. This is the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye Barrel Proof. These are supposed to become everyday shelfers. It was a 2023 release. These ones checking in at a robust 131.4. You've also got the Single Barrel Barrel Proof Bourbon, and then you get to their Gentleman Jack, Woodford, and the Old Forester Whiskey Roast Series. Okay, 1792 single barrel, $59.99. The full proof, $69.99, and then the small batch at $36.99. They've got that whole line, and then what was until a couple of weeks ago, the Evan Williams single barrel vintage, which was Kentucky only, but now we're starting to see those pop up. I just even saw those pop up in New England, so like to see that those are going out to other parts of the country. And again, I'll point these out every time. Green River, do not sleep on them. One of your better bang for the bucks for what you're getting. Wheated bourbon, I would check that out if I were you. 90 proof. That would also be a really good Weller alternative. The Jack Bonded, Jack Daniel's, Maker's Mark, Henry McKenna 10-year, $69.99. Oh, they even have the Larceny Barrel Proof. This is the new batch, A124. Haven't had that one yet, but what did you guys think of that? If you've tried it, I've always thought that Larceny was a little bit inconsistent when it came to their barrel proofs. I do like the regular 92 proof, but I've had some Larceny barrel proofs that were out of this world, and then others that were just meh. Bullet, we just did the Bullet 12-year rye, so don't forget to click that subscribe button to check that out, or click the link in the top right to check out that review. But here's the Bullet Rye, just the regular 95 rye, not the 12-year. Old Bourbon County, that's a new one as well. Distilled, aged, and bottled in Hartfield by Hartfield and Company in Paris, Kentucky, Bourbon County. Okay, 110 proof. And then I'm assuming that's who makes it. Luca, Long Branch, Breckenridge, Remus. They just did that whole label change. Boone County's in the midst of that as well. They've got this Lexington Club whiskey that they're distilling as well. That's one of their newer releases on top of their Founders Reserve, which is a hot still bourbon, and then their bourbon cream. Don't sleep on the bourbon cream either. I think that's one of the better bourbon creams out there. Woodinville, St. Elmo, coming from Indianapolis. Love this. One of the best thrifty buys you're gonna find. JTS Brown Bottled and Bond. Not available everywhere, but if you can find it for $16.99 for Bottled and Bond, very good price, very good value. Bottom shelf. Redwood Empire, we talked about their Lost Monarch. The cask strength, here's the regular line, $36.99 for their bourbon, their rye, and that rye and bourbon blend. 3-quart bourbon cream as well. I haven't seen that one yet. Cooper's Craft, Tin Cup. Jeff the Creed, we've got a review coming up on that here shortly of their regular Bottle and Bond. They've got this red, white, and blue. They've got a Bloody Butcher corn, a red corn, and a blue corn that they use for that, which is a pretty cool concept. I'm excited to dive into their high rye bourbon Bottle and Bond. And then Templeton Traveler Whiskey, we did a review on that. And if you haven't seen that already, don't forget to check out the top right for that review. Sazerac Rye, good price on that. Johnny Drum, pretty good. St. Cloud Bourbon, having a hard time getting behind them. Talked with the owner. Let's just say I've heard some things. That's all I'm going to say. James E. Pepper, that barrel proof, very good. Good price too at $59.99. Below that, you got the entire benchmark line. Top floor bonded, full proof, even the single barrel, and then the small batch. And then you've even got the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. Don't know what Big House straight bourbon whiskey is. Where is this coming from? 90 proof, $21.99. Produced and bottled by Sazerac Company. Okay. Well, you know who that's made by then. Old Bardstown. Regular Wild Turkey, Dickel, Old Granddad Bonded, and Old Granddad 114. And then here we go. We got the Jim Beam 7-year black label. That's gone through a lot of different changes. Like this black label, but that's 86 proof. This one's coming in at 90 proof. So that used to be the extra age, now it's the 7-year. There's a lot going on with this. I think we're gonna try that one out today, see what's the difference. So there you have it, Union Wine and Bourbon House in Union, Kentucky, just outside the city of Cincinnati. If you are in northern Kentucky, probably worth taking a detour to take Highway 42 to come check these guys out. I'm walking away with this Jim Beam 7-year, probably going to do a review or at least a blind with this later on here on the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's go hunt further. Let's go see what we can find at some other stores here in the area. All right, next up, we are now at Costco in Florence, Kentucky, just down the road from Union Wine and Bourbon House. My voice is starting to go, so bear with me here, but heard they got a pretty good bourbon drop. Let's see what they've got and anything special that came into the store today. All right, here we go. First thing to see, their Kirkland small batch bourbon, 1 liter, $19.99. That's a hell of a deal. We're gonna get 2. Probably going to give one away on the live stream here, so don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on that to win that bottle. Great price. We did a review on that a couple weeks ago as well, so don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to check that out on the top right. Woodford Double Oak, $49.29, and the Woodford, I like to call these the Bomber, that is the 1.75 at $59.99. Angel's Envy, Maker's Mark Bomber, and the Bullet Bomber. There's a look at prices, $39.99, $45.99, $44, not $59 on the Maker's Mark, and $44.99 on the Bullet. And then the bomber for the Larceny and the Elijah Craig, $55.99 and $44.99. And another bomber, that big 1792 small batch, $49.99. What's on the shelf? Middleton, very rare Irish whiskey. That's nearly $300. I believe the MSRP on that's closer to $300. So a little bit of a deal. Mountain Creek single barrel, $54.99. Good prices here. Blue Run private selection. That's probably the cheapest you're going to find a Chosen bottle. But even that, $169.99. Quite expensive for some okay juice. Well, Granddad, $114. That's the best price you're going to find. $22.99. Heaven Hill, Green River. New Riff Bottle and Bond, $33.99. Great price there. And then Old Forester, $19.20. Again, great price. So of course we're at Costco, so they're going to have probably the best prices you're going to find. But you're not really able to find that for under $55 anymore. Jefferson's Ocean. Which batch is this? That's Voyage 24. For those of you unfamiliar with that, they put the bourbon in a bourbon barrel and they put it on a boat in the ocean. And they cross the equator a couple times. A little bit of a gimmick, but to each their own. Four Roses, that is the small batch select, usually close to $60, good price. And then the Four Roses single barrel, that is just the regular 100 proof, not a store pick, but good prices there in that small batch. And the old yellow label, which is now a tan label, $36.99 for the big bomber. And then the Old Forester handle, $39.99. Old Forester bourbon, I think that is mistagged because that is the Russell's 10 at $35.99, and that tag's supposed to be over there for the 86 proof. So this one over here was $39.99 for the 100 proof. 86 proof is $34.99. Got that ugly Willet pot still. It's a cool bottle, but it's not good. Maker's 46, $26.99. Oh, Evan Williams single barrel bourbon. If you don't know what this is, it used to be widespread, and then about 21, 22, it became a Kentucky only bottle. Now we're starting to see it pop up in a few states in the Midwest and even the Northeast. $44.99, that's about the MSRP here in Kentucky, where it usually is. High West Rum Cask, $55.99, looks like the last one available. An Old Tub, $17.99. Rabbit Hole Cave Hill, Evan Williams, Horse Soldier, and then we're getting to the Rise. Yeah, Basil Hayden, $31.99. That's a pretty good price. Bernheim Wheat. Oh, that's a barrel proof, so that's A224. This is the February of 2024 release. They started doing those barrel proof versions last year. I had last year's 2023 pick in February. Not bad. Bernheim regular, $28.99. And then as we get to the Rise, and then even Irish whiskey, you got the Lowland Scotch as well for $26.99. And then the Redbreast 12-year, $64.99. Pretty good selection here. Of course, this is Northern Kentucky, the Belvini, and then Glenfiddich. Ooh, the new Lagavulin Offerman Edition Caribbean Rum Cask Finish, $75. Very interested in that. I tried last year's, or I guess 2 years ago, their edition. Was not a huge fan, but I do like Nick Offerman, so I have to give that a go at some point. And there we go. Jameson, and of course, your Jack handle. So there you have it. Just picked up 2 of the small batch Kirkland brand bottles coming in at 92 proof, $19.99 per bottle. It's a liter, so just over $40 after tax. Great buy, great find. Let's go hit the road, see if we can find anything else. And don't forget to subscribe because we're going to be giving away one of these bottles on the next live stream as we hit 2,500 subscribers. Let's go hit the road and find something else. So we're on our next stop, might be our last stop. We're at Discount Liquor. It's in Ellesmere, Kentucky, just to the south of Cincinnati, and it's now raining. Let's go check out if there's much of a discount here at Discount Liquor. Alrighty, here we are. First thing you see when you walk in, Sazerac Rye. Looks like that is $29.99. Fireball Buffalo Trace, $29.99. Traveler Whiskey, $36.99. Some of the better prices I've seen so far in Northern Kentucky. And there's the bourbon aisle. How you doing? So you got the end cap. And Penelope barrel strength, $69.99, $78.99 for the Penelope toasted. Pretty good prices there. They got pretty much the entire Calumet line. $150 for the 16-year, $129 for the 15-year. Haven't seen the 14-year around for a while. $129.99. So $39 for the port finished Isaac Bowman. Old Ezra 7-year rye is $129.99. And Never Say Die, which I've been seeing pop up a lot more lately. It's a newer brand. I believe it's from overseas, but I think they're based out of London, England. Yeah, English character, United Kingdom. But it's all Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Large Craig barrel proof. That's the A124 batch at $89.99. Different town branch. I've never seen that bottle before. A sherry cask finish. Town branch, of course, is out of Lexington. Usually a square bottle. Baker's 7, $79.99. A barrel bourbon. This is batch 33. That was a very good batch. $84.99. That's right where all those barrel products usually come in. Lucky 7. This is the Frenchman. I've not had the Frenchman, but I did enjoy the Hold Up the 9-year last year. That was one of my top bourbons of the year last year. Really enjoyed that. If you haven't had anything from Lucky 7, you might want to give them a try. Resilient Rye, Fortuna down there at $89.99 and Kentucky 10. And then the weeded Castle and Key. I would go weeded over the regular one. Overall, pretty decent on the weeder. The regular bourbon, I don't think that's too great. Let's check out the aisle. So we got the Michter's lineup, right about $50. Rabbit Hole, Peerless, nothing totally jumping out at me. The Augusta Old Route 8, we're going to be doing an interview there here shortly, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the behind the scenes there. We're going to be able to do some really cool stuff with Augusta, so you're not going to want to miss out on that. Haven't had the malted rye Basil Hayden or the toast. The 10-year I've heard bad things about, but that's one of the better prices I've seen at $89.99. 15 stars. This one's very good. One thing I don't love about 15 stars is their price point's always into the triple digits, but the bourbon and the rye, very, very delicious. So if you get a chance, maybe even to get a pour at a bar, would check those guys out. I really enjoy what they've had. Creek, for those of you looking for the Kentucky Derby 150th Woodford bottle, they've got one here. And it looks like they've got 5 of them left. And Woodford Double Oak. Nothing totally jumping out at me so far. All right, well, we got the single barrel 1792 coming in at $70. Kind of weird how they have the Bernheim, or actually, that would be why. That Bernheim's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be down here. Oh, they've got the Bernheim barrel proof. We just saw that at Costco a few minutes ago. $72.99, a little bit more, but still that's not over the top. Four Roses, Old Forester, the Whiskey Rose series, obviously not the 1924, but not too bad on the prices there either. As we make our way back down, already talked about the Bernheim barrel proof, Jack Daniels line, Makers, Lux Row. Okay, this is the double single barrel, $129.99. I don't believe this is the 12-year though. Filled, yeah, in 2018, so that's less than 6 years old. The 12-year, fantastic. I've heard mixed reviews about the Lux Row 6-year though. Dickel, again, St. Cloud, cool looking bottle. Just don't love the person who's running it right now. So 2 different prices on Buffalo Trace. This is the regular 5th, $29.99, and then the liter checking in at $38.99. Bullet, barrel strength. You got the 95 rye. We just did a review on the 12-year rye. If you haven't checked that out, go click that link on the top right. You can see the whole review there. Jeff the Creed just got a bottle of the Bottle and Bond that I want to do a review on here shortly, as I think I mentioned already. And then some of the Kentucky stuff, a new riff here in Northern Kentucky, in Boone County. Boyd and Bow, Green River, Not Your Father's Bourbon. This is a new one, 86 proof. It's out of Wisconsin. Small town craft spirits out of Wisconsin. There's that same Evan Williams single barrel vintage, same price that they had it at Costco. So like I said, that Costco deal, not as great of a deal. Cooper's Craft, the old label, and then the new label, Bush Creek. It's created in Wyoming. It's a new one for me, a new Wyoming distillery. Whiskey Row. Okay, that's the town branch that I'm used to seeing, that we just talked about a few minutes ago. Ammunition. Kind of reminds me of like a Johnny Drum barrel, Johnny Drum bottle. Straight rye whiskey, finished in Pinot Noir barrels. It's out of California. Bubba's Secret Stills. And then the benchmark line, you got full proof, top floor bonded, single barrel, and the small batch. Look at the small batch price at $16.99. So if you are looking for Buffalo Trace and you can't find it, obviously they have it here, but these are great alternatives for some of those harder to find Buffalo Trace products, because it's the same mash bill as E.H. Taylor as well as Buffalo Trace, and I believe Eagle Rare. So this bottle and bond from Willett is, I believe that is the one that is a Kentucky only bottle, $27.49. And then the Bardstown Origin Series, not the worst price I've seen. Same with the Heaven Hill bottle and bond. An Old Forester, of course. It looks like we got a hodgepodge on the bottom here. Not a huge fan of Devil's River. Very, very Texas funk. And then your Thrifties, Old Carter, Early Times. What is the price for the Early Times bottle and bond? It's Ancient Age. I don't see the Ancient Age. And very old Barton. It's actually a sleeper pick right there. All right, what do they have back here? Oh boy. I'm scared to ask.
Going back.
Going back?
Yeah, we let people back.
I'm scared to ask.
Yeah, that's, he's negotiable on it, but this one's like 600, and that one's about a 9 something, but he's negotiable.
600 and 900. What about the Elmer? 299. Larceny, that is a 124. I've heard good things about that. Remus.
The one that just won the world's best thing.
Yeah.
Just like
a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh, yeah, just like the Augusta 13 did.
Yeah. What about the E.H. Taylor single barrel?
179.
179. Blanton's
119.
119.
And you can do that and a Sadrak rye for 129.
Oh, that's not too bad.
You get both for 129.
And then straight from the barrel?
Around the 300.
Around 300, and then I see 250 on the Weller 12. Booker's 2401. What's the price on that?
Booker's, you know, I'm not positive on that, but
Problem. Thank you. And while I'm asking, what about this Michter's barrel strength?
that one just came in, but that was yesterday. This is 139.
139 on the Booker's.
And that one just came in yesterday, so the price, I am not positive on.
Fingers crossed on that one. The White Dog mash.
199.
199. Thank you. 199 doesn't seem like it's too bad of a price on that Michter's. Okay, there again, we've got the Sonoma Triple Finish, Woodford Reserve, Masters Collection, and then Eagle Rare, Toasted Barrel.
64.99.
64 on the Eagle Rare, and then the Buckner's 10.
That's a check.
199. Not too bad on the Buckner's 10 year. We're going to go do a review on that here in a couple weeks. Looks like the tag from McKenna was $62.99. Alrighty, and then the Yellowstone 101, this is the 2023 release. And then Castle Hill series, Milam & Green, we're going to talk with them as well, so cool. Well, I'm just finding the McKenna over here, $62.99 for the McKenna 10. That's probably the best deal I've seen. All right, so I am going to walk away with this Michter's Barrel Strength Bourbon, $199.99, slightly above the MSRP, maybe a little more than I was hoping to spend on it, but it's the best price that I've seen on this bottle in my 2 years of hunting in Northern Kentucky. So we had a good hunt today in Northern Kentucky, Union Wine and Bourbon House in Union, Kentucky, Florence, Costco, and then here in Ellesmere, this discount liquor. A couple of good spots that you might want to check out if you're ever hunting in Northern Kentucky or just outside of Cincinnati here on the Beeline. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you may enjoy a couple of the other bourbon hunts that I've done here in Northern Kentucky and across the Chicago area as well. So don't forget to check those out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, folks, it's always whiskey weather. Just be responsible and have a great day.